quite a while. But now, since I have appointment setters doing the entire setting of appointments for myself or for me, I give them a booking link. So when booking link, let me know when you booked in so I can make sure it comes through on our end, if you don't mind. I will leave the chat open. I will leave the chat open, creates urgency that they go and open up the booking link right away instead of waiting for hours to dig into it. Then confirm the call and persuade with social proof. There is a great book called Persuasion from, what's it called? Charlie Gorey. A great guy about, how to persuade people before the sale. And this is really powerful. So looking forward to our call on Thursday. If you get a sec before the call, check out milesstutz.com league trainings and watch the 3 client trainings, especially the 3 rings of marketing one. It's all about what we just talked about. Happy to go over any questions on the call as well. The thing we want to achieve here is that they are getting indoctrinated by our trainings, by our processes, by our testimonials before they show up on the call. More than just once did I have people on the strategy sessions that told me at the end, dude, I already had my credit card out of the pocket before I even got on the phone, because they got so persuaded by my content on that page. So I can actually show you guys how mine looks like. Stop share. So this is actually my persuasion page. So they got 3 trainings on here that, this is kind of like on messaging. This is kind of like a light version of what we do right here. Then I do some training on investments, which basically handles the objection of I have to think about, or, I don't want to invest. And then the 3 rings of marketing, which is a training that makes me stand apart from pretty much everyone else out there because no one talks about it. And when they watch all those 3 trainings and actually go through my testimonials right here and through all the stuff we do, they show up on the strategy session pretty qualified. So getting something like that in place can help a lot when you can lead your prospects onto that page before they actually jump on the call. And yeah, so you lead them to that page by, hey, there is more training on there. You confirm the attendance, so 24 hours before the call, excited for our call tomorrow, 1 hour before, ready to rock and roll in 60, 10 minutes before. Here's the Zoom link in case you missed it, talk in 10. This just increases the chance that they actually show up and don't forget it. Now, we are soonish at the end of the presentation, but here is another one really good thing that I learned from Cole, basically his follow-up sequence on Messenger called reoffer. So whenever you talk with people on a strategy session, this is something, by the way, guys, for every one of you who had strategy sessions that didn't enroll, but you think they were a good fit, make sure you use that right after the call, because this can make you a lot of money. I have people using it and they made 60K in booked strategy sessions that day. So you open up your CRM or whatever you use, and you go through the past strategy sessions that you had, and you figure out what was the objection that kept them from moving forward. Was it money? Was it time? Was it whatever? Because you use that in the messaging process. So, yo, John, we are testing something new this week that will help you come in the program for less down and be able to cash flow quicker. If they told you in the initial consultation strategy session, well, I just don't have the money for it, right? Or, they're just like, well, yeah, basically you would have had split it for them to like 3 payments and you wanted to have a pay in full or whatever. You're like, hey, look, we are testing something new that will allow you to come in for less down and be able to cash flow quicker. Or we are testing something new that helps you to generate leads, right? I know you were saying that you really wanted to move forward, but money was keeping you from it. So I thought of you when we launched this. Want me to send you some more info? No worries either way. So whatever their objection was, you use that as kind of like something that you're testing new, a workshop or some program that allows them to generate more leads, or, you give them more time. Hey, we're testing something new that gives you 4 more weeks. And I know you were saying that you really wanted to move forward, but time was keeping you from it. So I thought of you when we launched it. Want me to send you some more info? And then the info is not some sort of a PDF. So if they are like, yes, I want to know more about it, you're like, okay, cool. Well, do you have 20 minutes sometime this week? I don't have a PDF or so about it. And they will say, yes. You talk with them on the phone again. You treat it as a strategy session and you enroll them. Really powerful. I do that at least once every 6 or 7 weeks, and it makes me a lot of money. Also, general value-based follow-up. Hey, man, have you seen the new training we just put out? Depends. If you are a one-man show and you don't have people doing marketing for you, you can use that. Hey, man, have you seen the new training we just put out? And can be a training in your group, can be a new lead magnet that you just created. Or if you have someone doing that for you, have you seen the new training Miles or John has put out? Thought of you because we talked about this on the phone when we were like, as an example, thought of you because you told me on the phone that you were struggling with lead generation. So I tagged you on it. Did you see it? They say yes. Sweet, man. By the way, did you ever get clear on aligning your offer with your ideal client? So they told me on the strategy session that the big problem they had was, well, look, I'm just not aligned with my offer, or what we came out for. Look, if the offer is the problem, and you're like, well, look, I still didn't fix it. I'm still struggling with it. Then I'm like, can I be real with you for a second? You're struggling with the same thing for more than 3 months now. If you would have hopped on, you'd already be generating leads daily. Man, when are you going to step up and finally change this? No worries either way, buddy. Just want to see you win. Let me know. And this is a great follow-up as well to book more strategy sessions. So when you talk with people, if on Messenger or strategy session, whenever they told you what their problem is, you can leverage this here. Sweet, man, by the way, did you ever get clear on aligning your offer, or are you still working on improving lead generation, or you're still trying to improve your health? Whatever. If they say no, can I be real with you for a sec? You use this, and so often they end up as a new strategy session, actually also end up as a client. Then if people ghost you, usually that's what I use, ? If they use it again, just bumping this to the top, send. If they still ghost it and you still want to play the game, I send a GIF or a GIF. And lastly, I send you alive, ? Or did you die, ? It's a little bit more controversial, a little bit more rough, but it usually triggers a response. So that's what I do. Now we got some Q&A and AMA. I hope you guys are still with me. Did you die? I can never do that. It's actually funny. I thought the same, but it works wonderful. So many people are like loving, like, yes, I'm still alive. It's all okay. But the you alive is a little bit more soft, so you can use that too. Let me go over the questions on here. Miles, do you have tips on engagement in Facebook group? I have 2 groups, but I'm the only one that posts there and only get engagement only from my best friend and family. That's just a shitty situation. So what people do you have in there? Are they actually interested in what you do? And actually creating a group, that's what I see a lot. There are so many Facebook groups out there. And while this is an advantage because most Facebook groups are crap, you can easily build a group that moves people to, hey, I actually want to check out this group. So your group has to be a place that people want to check out. So if you are only sharing posts that wants to sell people or isn't really giving them anything, no one will check out your group. No one gives a shit. But if they actually can go in there and they learn something that helps them move forward, you will immediately get more engagement, but also they will start referring people to your group. My group grows about 30% of people we have in our group. It's about 1,500 members. It's by referrals. And we started that group about 4 months ago. So relevant content that is targeted towards your ideal client actually helps them move forward. I don't know if you've heard part about what I just showed before with the content we use, but that content works really well in the Facebook group. And also interviews. If you can interview industry leaders, that's powerful too. Don't even have to be interview leaders, but it's easy because people bring content to you, so you don't have to create it. Do you use Messenger for the follow-up or email, etc.? What do you mean, John? I use Messenger. When I initially messaged with them on Messenger, I use Messenger. When I initially talk with them on email, I use email. So kind of like I use the platform they probably prefer. How long after do you do follow up with ghosts? 24 hours? I'm pretty aggressive with that because unless people didn't see it. I mean, if I see that someone read it, I put it up like 24 hours. If not, if they didn't see it, I give them probably 48 hours. Can you go through some wording for the looking for a partner niche? Who is your Sue? Can you unmute yourself? And we can figure that out together, hopefully, I guess.
Hi.
Hi,
Can you
how
hear
are you?
Good.
Good to hear. Tell me about your market real quick, about your niche.
Well, I'm still, I haven't had anyone yet, but I'm thinking it's like 29 to 50 women.
Are those corporate women?
That would be nice, but I don't know how to find them. So
you can double down. You can, like, this is what I do in my dating coaches. It's actually works well. You can double down on corporate women. And a soft question is like, wow, I love the business you are running. I'm really curious. Do you have time to, what could we use as a word here? Do you have time to meet people? Do you have time to, I don't know, enjoy company? Or you know, ultimately with that question, what we want to achieve is we want to find the people that are looking for a partner now, right? We don't want to, we don't want to convince people of looking for a partner. That will be an objection that you will hear a lot of corporate women. They are, or like CEOs or corporate women that are having a really good job. They're like, they're too busy.
Right.
Like when someone reaches out to me for dating, it's like, it's not my priority. Just don't have time for it. And that will be a big objection that you get. So you rather want to go after people that are looking for a partner already, people that are problem aware. And for you, crucial, your content can make people problem aware. So let's say you're helping corporate women or, women with a really successful job, telling them about how important it is to have that harmony of actually also having a partner in life and how that can fuel their success in business. You have to beat that objection of, I don't have time for it because it's not necessary. But if you can, in your content, can educate people on, hey, it actually helps you to increase or to improve what is most important to you, your business, they start to think different and they get problem aware, which means also solution aware. So you can actually be fairly direct and like, hey, wow, you're running an incredible business, or it seems like you're incredibly successful. I'm curious, how are you managing love life and how are you managing love life and business? How are you keeping love life and business in balance? And what you will mostly get is, well, I don't have a love life. And that's your point to leverage.
Okay. And so I seem to be attracting more people that are like more in the spiritual niche, single people, but they don't seem to have money. So I'm thinking maybe the business.
This is your message. So ultimately you get who you're talking with, right? So that probably means that your content is either very broad, and very broad usually reaches the, people that are most of the time not a good fit. It has to be very specific and targeted towards one kind of like specific group of people. So, they don't have to be, successful. It can also be something else, but successful women, they probably share a lot of things with each other that you can leverage in your content when you solve their problems. So successful women, they feel alone, as an example. So you can talk about feeling alone as a successful business owner and how stressful it is. And you start to dig just deeper into your business, and you dig deeper and deeper and deeper, and you hide your emotions and you become like a robot. And they're like, shit, that's true. That's me. But if you're talking with all women, a spiritual woman that isn't running a business probably has different problems than a woman that is running a business and looking for a partner, right?
Thank you.
My pleasure. Anything else? Sweet. So I go.
I guess it's just like finding where these women are, if they're.
Oh, as soon as you know who it is, you will find
Mhm.
that's not the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, when you know who it is, you can ask yourself where do they hang out? Are there Facebook groups where they share interests, like business groups? Are there, groups from Oprah probably? Or are there groups from, people they look up to where they're in? Finding them is rarely not the problem. It's more the problem of not knowing who it is.
Yeah.
Right? Gina. Also, I get a thumbs up from people when I set my booking link a lot and nothing after. That that probably means that you send the booking link too early. There is not enough pain built, or like they don't feel the pain and they don't believe that you might be able to solve the problem. That will probably be it. You can, absolutely. I mean, you can send them just a, hey, how's it going? Or, hey, just wrote a piece of content and thought of you. Just wanted to reach out. How's it going? My pleasure. What other questions do we have? You guys can just unmute yourself, and we got like another 12 minutes, 30 minutes.
Hi, I'm just wondering if you've got like 2 different avatars and they're both at different levels of experience. So like I'm thinking of like newly qualified speech language therapists or those that are very well experienced. How do you kind of balance the 2 different levels of experience so that you're not offending one who's really experienced and one that you're talking a bit over the top?
Usually what happens is, so it's a good question because I'm going through that myself. So we are shifting our target market from, so in the past, so we always work with coaches, but for probably 2 years, we worked with coaches that, were at 1K, 2K, 3K, and we had to help them build the business. Now we are shifting to working with people that are making between 10 and 20K a month. Cool thing is, what we saw is when we actually communicate with the 10 to 20K a month people, we automatically attract the people that are below too, because most of the time, it's like the classic one, you make like 4K a month, but you already think of scaling and Facebook ads, even if it is totally out of the equation and not what you should think about, but you get really excited by those things. So if you talk about the problems that those more skilled people have, there's a big chance that you also attract those a bit more at the bottom, like those that are not there yet. There's a big chance to do so, but I'd recommend to target for each offer should be for one target market. If you have multiple offers, that's okay, but you don't want to confuse your market. So don't have 2 entirely different target markets. If they are similar, just somewhere else on the journey, that's okay. I think you can test to combine that. But if they're like, completely different markets, that won't work that well.
They're not different markets. It's just you've got speech therapists who have been doing it for, 20 years, 15, 20 years. And then you've got some that haven't even started,
That's similar as for me. So, probably you want to target people that already started, so they know what they do. And if you go after the 20 years experienced ones, you will get the others too. And I guess it's also more interesting to work with the people with 20 years experience because there will be a bit more skin in the game.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure. What else do we got?
Hey Miles, if you have some time, maybe could we cover like as a weight loss coach, and I am not a fitness instructor, I'm just a certified health coach. So what might be by the way, the training was useful, but what might be some messaging I could use that doesn't sound too MLM like?
Do you know how MLM conversations look like? Because I don't know.
I do, but I think the ones I get is usually when they're trying to recruit a coach to so I have some samples of how MLM conversations look like. They're like, hey, I work for Arbonne and I am trying to you know, see another if you're a health coach who's interested in you know
I'm giving you a super
this or
simple
whatever.
answer. I'm giving you a super simple, just don't message like that. Message like I just message like I just told you. Don't message like, oh, I'm, you know, from that company XYZ. I'm more so come from a value approach of like, hey, look, are you, you know, like losing weight? I don't know. A good approach that we once used is like on, you know, so Christmas times or so, like, hey, how are you, you know, treating all the Christmas treats and those kinds of things.
I mean, that is a good time right now. People are snacking their way through this quarantine. So
use that. Perfect. Use that. I'm like, hey, how are you, you know, managing your, you know, your snacks and so on. And as when you can make, you know, I love to turn those questions into like, you know, a little bit of fun question, like, oh, it's just a snack time right now. How are you handling it? And kind of, it's just like when you can make people laugh, it's like they will be much more open to answer the question.
Yeah.
Did this help? Or
yeah, I'm going to try it out. I mean, I have just not been doing it because there's so many messaging from MLMs that I was like, okay, I will come across as MLM and I have no MLM to sell.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it's always about testing, especially because you guys have now a framework. You can like, basically the entire qualification process that we use in the dating stage and in the poll stage, you can pretty much copy paste it because it works in every industry we have tested it in. Rapport building is a little bit different. It's like, you know, just meeting someone on the street and having a conversation with him. It's not, you know, you can't really prepare for that. It's just, you know, it has to be natural, it has to flow, and it has to be cool. And that's kind of like what you have to learn, what you have to get, especially in your industry. You will see patterns. At one point, you had so many conversations that you know, every conversation will be pretty much the same because you just know what to say, what not to say, but it takes some time. It takes some time.
I think the only other question I had is when you are starting out and you have no testimonials, how does that work?
Intimacy. So you just have to win people by having intimate conversations with them. So you have to more build that thing of, you know, get into the frame of she's actually a good friend, you know, so someone that I can ask questions. So you want to meet them in Messenger. You want to have, you know, a conversation with them, and it's really, you know, that intimate conversation. And you don't have, because keep in mind, no one is born with testimonials.
Yeah.
No one. I didn't have testimonials in the beginning. No one had. So it is a little bit more of a struggle, but you can beat that while, you know, just having those intimate conversations with people and making sure that they have that sense of, wow, she gets me. She gets my situation. Because the problem about testimonials is, oh, because you will see at one point you have testimonials and we're like, oh, well, you have a lot of testimonials, but I don't know if it works for me.
Yes,
So
I've seen that. Yeah.
that will just the next problem that you have to handle with. So they're powerful, but it will still open up like, oh yeah, cool, those are all awesome people, but I don't know if that works for me. So yeah.
Yes, this is helpful. Thank you.
My pleasure. Jenna, can you please remind me again where you find your cold reach outs? I think you said you don't like to message people from other groups. So what I do is, number one, I'm in a daily routine for over a year now to just add 30 people to my friends list each and every day. So what I do is, one second, I can actually show you guys. It's so simple. Here we go. So especially also as more active you are with content, as more friend requests you automatically get. So I always have tons of friend requests to go through, and as more consistent you are with your content, as easier that will be. But a simple routine that you can do, that I do every day, is you just go on people you may know, and I add 30 of those to my friends list each and every day. So what I do is I open a bunch of them. I do a quick research of, I help couples. Okay, seems like a good fit. Add, he's a coach. Helping agencies close more clients. Seems like an ideal client, or seems like a good fit. I help you maximize your full potential. Add friend. Business development specialist could be a good fit too. It goes very fast. I don't want to spend hours on adding people to my friends list. It should go fast. So it shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes. Strategist, best-selling author, perfect. Can add him to my friends list. Helping startups and agencies get sales meetings, perfect. I close high-ticket packages for business. No, I'm not working with closers. And what happens is that as more ideal prospects you have on your Facebook list, the Facebook algorithm will kick in and give you better suggestions. So I pretty much have probably 3,000 ideal people on my friends list. So I only get those suggestions. So you can use the algorithm to your leverage and just add people. And especially if you don't have a lot of traction, you can add up to 60 and they will accept your friend request. And then if you want to really get the most out of it, you click on friends. You go on recently added, and all those people, so he just accepted my friend request, all those people are here, and you send them a quick message. And what happens when you send those people a message is that the Facebook algorithm will prioritize your content on their feed because they think you're friends, because Facebook is not made for marketers, more so for private people. So if you have a messenger conversation with someone, Facebook thinks that you guys are good friends. So they prioritize your content on their feed. There's a bigger chance that it will show up.
Can I ask a question that piggybacks with that, please?
Absolutely.
So if you are going through that and adding those people to your personal page, so I run both personal and business page. I work with busy and overwhelmed moms with time management and self-love type stuff. And my personal page, I use a lot to create myself as a mom. I share my kids, I share my story, my personal stuff, crossover with some business stuff. But then I have a business page. So if I'm going in and adding all those people to my personal page, at what point do I go maybe through that list and go, hey, come on over to my business page, invite to the business page? Do you do that crossover? Do you leave them in the personal?
The only purpose of a business page is running ads.
Wait, say that again?
The only purpose of a business page is running ads. If you want to get organic reach with business pages, it sucks. It's really bad.
Okay.
So I wouldn't recommend business page. Like my business page is really just, there's some social proof on there for when I'm running ads, but it's not for much more. I know you can boost posts with a business page and reach those people, but the reach is so bad of a business page. It's so much better on a personal page. So instead of using a business page, use a Facebook group.
Okay.
So you have your personal profile, and I can show you guys. So pretty much my entire personal profile. So it is number one, it is totally primed. So when someone checks out my Facebook profile, it's hard not to join my Facebook group because it's all about joining my Facebook group. And basically all of my posts are, if we get 50 comments plus, I share our secret sauce on highly profitable offer structures and packaging so you can pull this off yourself. My appointment setters will go through those comments and get people into my Facebook group. Or the process we use to grow ecosystems that generate 6 figures. There are 93 comments, you get all of them into our Facebook group and into the messenger conversation I showed you. So those people are like, hey, Miles, so they comment here and I reach out to them. Hey, saw you comment XYZ, are you still interested? And then I ask them, cool, are you okay with me asking you 2 to 3 questions? But also get them into the Facebook group. Then this is just a fun post. Then here we got another part. It's also later today. I'll be breaking those apart with you and show how we create 6-figure demand within small audiences. Again, all those people comment, we get them into the Facebook group. That's just credit.
Well, if you're transitioning, if I need to transition from a business page essentially to a Facebook group like this, do you take the people that have already followed you or liked your business page and invite them into a group, or how does that work?
Because when you invite them, you don't get the juicy stuff, which is actually a Facebook group is the fastest way to build your email list, because you get their emails here if they answer it, and then you can get a tool called Group Convert. So you can, one sec. I actually decline people who don't answer the questions, and you can click here, approve all, and then it gets into Group Convert. Group Convert puts them into another list. Sorry, I'm breaking out of the question real quick, but I want to show that. View data, it pushes them all on a Google Doc. What is going on? I probably have to fix that, but usually it puts them onto a Google Sheet. Oh, no, I see. What is this? Oh, here we go. So now they're all on that list here. So with all their email addresses, and I hope it works now. And then it puts them automatically onto a Google Sheet, and that Google Sheet is connected with Zapier to, what is the email software called I'm using? One of the biggest ones. I don't know. It connects them right away with my email list, and it puts them into the list that they get into an email sequence. So that's number one, really cool for having a Facebook group too, because you grow your email list. But to get back to your question, I wouldn't invite them. I would actually be like, hey guys, we are having a training we are having a training about XYZ, about something that your ideal clients want. Let me know below if you want it. And you get them into that, and then you quickly send them a message. Hey, I'm going to hold that training in the Facebook group. Can I send you a link? So they answer the questions, and it also creates a conversation tool.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Miles, could I just ask you, I'm predominantly business to business focused.
Yep.
What's your experience with using this methodology on LinkedIn?
Works pretty much the same. The only thing with LinkedIn is that you can automate the first message, you know, with, I don't know, LinkedIn Helper or whatever those other tools, Sales Navigator. But the process is pretty much the same, just that on LinkedIn, with some industries, you can be more direct. Mm-hmm. So you can be more, you know, you have to build less rapport. But the problem about LinkedIn is, honestly, it's a spam platform.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's super spammy. So you can actually break out of that by, you know, using that approach of like human interaction.
Yeah.
I'm actually curious.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you.
My pleasure. We have 3 more minutes, and then I have to jump off. What else do we got?
Can I ask another question? This is Sue again.
Sure. Absolutely.
In terms of these corporate women, I am very not corporate.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering, is this something that people will relate to me?
Well, you're running a business.
Yeah.
So for me, you're probably not corporate, but you're a business.
Okay.
Right.
Because I'm more like flowy, I'm a massage therapist also. So like, but I have my own business as that. So, okay.
That is probably the reason why you attract spiritual people.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
People are magnetically drawn to people who are just like us. We are magnetically drawn to people who are just like us.
So then should my target market be that also?
I mean, you're a spiritual business owner.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, so for me, yes, you want to ask yourself, who is your ideal, like, this is my ideal client, and those are the values of my ideal client, right? Mm-hmm. This is the ideal client I want to communicate with. What are the values of that ideal client, and what values do I share with him that I can emphasize in my content, right? So your ideal client is not spiritual, so probably talk a bit less about spirituality and flow, and talk more about the values you want to match, right? So the other matching values that you guys have. So as an example, you want to work with successful women. Well, you're running a business. So talking a little bit more about how is it to run a business and business talk, if that makes sense.
Yeah, although it's more fun for me to talk about the other stuff.
That's okay too. I mean, that's 100% okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just your decision. Who do I want to work with?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Sweet. Guys, I have to hop off. Let me know in the group if you have any questions, and I kind of might jump on another, Facebook Live or whatever it will be, and to answer some more questions. But with that being said, happy booking. Share some screenshots if you have any, or share some wins. Always happy to see those, and reach out to me if you need anything. Bye, guys.